Hello everyone, my name is Art and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be taking a look at Pop Games number 954. This is the Five Nights at Freddy's Blacklight Hot Topic exclusive Foxy. This Foxy released alongside a Blacklight Freddy. I believe this is the second sort of wave of Five Nights at Freddy's Blacklight figures that the other wave released a few years ago and is actually decently expensive at this point. I know at least the Bonnie and the Chica are decently expensive. This one is a Hot Topic exclusive, which released relatively recently. I haven't seen it at my stores since... Actually, I think they still had it when I bought it, but in the last few times I've gone there, they haven't had them, but I'm sure they could possibly restock at some point, and given that I would assume that we get a Chica and Bonnie to fill out that wave 4 at some point. I feel like they'd probably want to have these at the on shelves at the same time, so probably another wave of releasing these ones. The Blacklight figures, I think as a whole, just a whole thing for Funko Pops isn't my favorite thing. I think in most cases it's pretty unnecessary, but in these cases, I guess especially with the Freddy, it's a good thing to have Freddy Fazbear on shelves, especially with the release of the movie, considering that there's no actual figures for the movie currently released. So given that these release pretty much exactly the time of that, it just makes sense you want to have those characters on shelves, and especially a basic Freddy, where the basic Freddy, whether you want to go with the normal one or even the better, I would say, flocked version, is still getting up there to like $60 to $100 range, whereas Foxy here, as much as I think this is a decent stylized Foxy, I don't think it's necessarily worth it. If you already have the Foxy, and if you don't and want a Foxy, I'd just go out and get a normal Foxy. It might cost a little bit more. This was $20, I think. And Foxy's, I don't believe, all that much more than that. It just seems to me that finding those original figures is the tougher part. I've been looking around for quite a few of them and really haven't found all that many being sold. So, yeah, I guess it's just the easy bit. Go with these ones. They're easier to get currently. So, taking a look at the box, I think the yellow border looks quite nice with the black and then the other colors used, which are featured on the Foxy. I believe this box is the same as the Freddy, whereas it doesn't really match with the Freddy colors, where he has a lot of greens, but all the colors on this Foxy box definitely match with the colors that you see on the figure, which is a pretty cool thing. There's also a black card at the back of the box, which I think is nice, so you don't see the back of that cardboard, and it just sort of elevates the look of the figure inside the box. Turning it around, you can see the figure there, as well as the two figures in this current Blacklight set. Foxy on the side there, and overall I think the box looks quite nice, and probably is the highlight, I would say, of this figure is the figure in his box. The figure itself, of course, is a very good Foxy. They've created a solid line of Five Nights at Freddy's figures at this point. You really can't change them up, and they didn't for this figure. They just kept that really good Foxy that they already had. I would just say, given the price of your normal Foxy, I would just say go out and get that one instead of this one, where for me the highlight of it is that figure inside the box, where it just really pops quite nice. So here is the Blacklight Foxy out of the box, and as much as I think this figure is unnecessary right off the bat, I think it looks really good. I think it's a really cool stylized Foxy figure. I think the colors just pop. The blue with the pink, the purple, the yellow, it just all comes together to create a really nice figure with that black background for the character. Overall, I think the Foxy, the original Foxy, is far superior to this. It's not overly expensive, and I definitely go for that one. Like with the Freddy, it was sort of a different case, where it was just the Freddy's quite a bit, or a decent bit, expensive, whereas the regular Foxy just isn't that. But taking a closer look at the figure, of course, you have the hook. The feet have a decent amount of details with the more beat-up Foxy. Also, the hand that you can see, which is quite well detailed. A lot of beaten up bits around them that actually has some depth to it, which is a cool detail in the figure. All the metal aspects of the figure seem to be done in the blue color, which I think is cool. I like how you can see the joints between the arms. I think that's a cool thing. The shorts, or I guess pants in the pink color, I think look nice. The eye patch, the yellow teeth. There's quite a bit of detailing on this figure. Of course, I believe it's exactly the same as the normal Foxy figure, but I do think the colors pop, and I think overall I do like it better than the Freddy. I think it works as a pretty nice and stylized Foxy. Even though I think it's unnecessary, I do think it's still a pretty good Foxy Funko Pop, and a good way to get them on shelves right now with the Freddy. Overall, I think the Five Nights at Freddy's Blacklight Foxy figure is good. I hope that if they release the other two, Chica and Bonnie, I would think that those four together would look quite nice. A nice set of stylized Five Nights at Freddy's figures. But overall, I don't think these figures are overly necessary. I'd much rather something new, whether that's security breach stuff, which we really need Funko Pops for. There's not all that much when it comes to like Five Nights at Freddy's 2. There's a lot of stuff that I would like to see instead of these Blacklight figures. Yeah, that's really it. You know, if they had made everything in Five Nights at Freddy's and they were coming around and they made this, I'd be fine with it. But it just seems really unnecessary to me to create this Foxy figure when you could just go out and create new figures. Of course, that requires new molds and all that, but I think that would be a lot more exciting and sell a lot better as actual new figures instead of existing molds with new colorways like this Blacklight Foxy. And I think these Five Nights at Freddy's Blacklight ones will sell well because, well, it's pretty much all you can get right now. This and the Christmas stuff with the movie recently released, that's just what you can get right now, and I'm sure for that reason these are selling all right. If there really wasn't all that much going on, I feel like these just wouldn't, because they're not all that interesting, and I think something new would be much more interesting. But yeah, that's my review of this Foxy. I think it's a good figure. I really like the look of the mold. I think that's good, and it honestly pops. It's probably one of my favorite Blacklight figures, and it's a good stylized Foxy. I just really think it's quite unnecessary. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.